Hello, my soul friends, and welcome to your tarot reading. My name is Emmarie, and I'm going to help you become single no more and be in the romantic relationship that you deserve. All you need to do to receive your psychic message from the universe is pick one of these four piles before you, use your intuition, whichever one sticks out to you, that is your message. And let's go ahead and take a look at each one closely. If you need to, you can pause the video and meditate on each pile, but whichever one stands out to you, that is your message. So, pile 1 is the chipmunk. Pile 2 is the penguin. Pile 3 is the snake. And pile 4 is the otter. Remember, you can pause the video and meditate on each card, but once you have your card in mind, all you need to do is either go into the description of this video to click on the link, or you can use the time bar of the video to go to that section. So let's go ahead and get started. Hello, pile 1, my chipmunk pile, and welcome to your tarot reading. Let's go ahead and get started by seeing what the higher self of your soulmate wants you to know. So who you're meant to be with, what does their soul need you to know in order for you both to get together? What is preventing you from uniting? Ooh, a message for you. I'm thinking of you this very moment. Your love fills me with light. I love you. So your soulmate thinks that you are meant to be together and they are looking for you. But I do think that this message, almost like a message in the bottle, indicates that they feel as if you aren't looking for them, or if you're doing something to block both of you from getting together. So let's see what that blockage could be. Let's start by pulling 3 cards. Spirit, why is pile 1 single? The first card is the Hanged Man, some sort of sacrifice. The second card is the 9 of Wands, some sort of overwhelm. And the third card is expansion. So pile 1, it seems like the main reason that you are still single and why you can't be with your soulmate is that you are so focused on something other than love. It's probably your career or a hobby, and all of that is wonderful. It's not as if you shouldn't be doing that, but it does appear as if you are sacrificing love in order to make your dreams come true, and it's hurting you. It's making you not realize that life is a fuller experience than you think. You often see a lot of people, especially in their late 30s, early 40s, who begin to realize that actually they should have put more time in romance. Maybe they would have liked having kids, or if romance wasn't the problem, then they think, oh, I should have spent more time with friends so I didn't lose them, or I should have been more engaged with community. And I do think in this case, you aren't putting enough into your social life, in your romantic life. You're thinking of it as something that comes after your success, but what I challenge you to do, what your soulmate's higher self would really like you to do, is to consider whatever dreams and goals you have for yourself as something that can happen as you're also falling in love. You don't have to wait for permission to fall in love after you have your achievements. How about the journey to achieving what you want in life occurring alongside your soulmate. So you don't have to be single and then succeed. You can get into a relationship and succeed alongside your partner. Maybe you can encourage them and they can encourage you. So let's see what your angels and ancestors think about your current situation when it comes to singleness. Pile 1's angels and ancestors. Why are they single? What else do you have to say for them? Your guardian angel wants to remind you that you are not alone. And specifically, I see your guardian angel saying that you are not meant to be single. Some people want to be single for the rest of their lives, or they think there isn't someone out there for them, but there is someone out there for you. So let's figure out more about who this person could be. Let's get a nice little preview. What is Pile 1's soulmate like? What are some traits, characteristics that they should know about? We have the 7 of Wands reversed, which is about not being overwhelmed. And then we have the Empress reversed. So they aren't someone who has kids. And then we have the Hierophant, marriage. So it could be that this person is currently married, or they're very interested in being married. They don't have kids. They're not going to have kids when you meet them. So if they have any children or anything like that, that's a sign from your guardian angel that this person isn't your soulmate, or at least not your best option. But interestingly here, the 7 of Wands reversed tells me that your soulmate is someone who you can relax around. They're someone who encourages you, who is your partner in marriage, and they want to build a life with you. They want you to be able to come home and feel relaxed, feel at ease. And this is part of the reason why they don't have children. It's not that they won't possibly want children in the future, but they really want to enjoy the honeymoon phase with you. So if you do have kids, if you have pets, if you have anything wonderful like that, it's not saying that just because you have kids, you can't be together with your soulmate. It's just that there's not this added stressor of learning to really care about a new family member. It is a lot easier than that. It's a lot funner. You get to have those first with your partner when or if you decide to have children with them. But that's really what I'm seeing with them, is a lot of first, a lot of fun, a lot of honeymoon period, a lot of joy. So let's see what sort of wisdom you need to know about being single and ending that singleness. We'll pull one card from the Wisdom of the Oracle. What do you need to know about ending your singleness? Imagine. You need to use your imagination. You need to think outside of the box. So when it comes to no longer being single, you will often hear advice like start an online dating profile, go out into the world. When I do a lot of tarot readings for people, it tends to break down into one of these two things: start an online dating profile, go out into public multiple times. Kind of boring advice, but it works for most people. In your case, you have to think outside of the box. So let's see what outside of the box means for you when it comes to no longer being single. Spirit, what does Pile 1 need to know about imagining a different outcome? We have justice, so morality. We have the Moon, a secret. And then we have the Page of Coins reversed, which is about not starting something. So what I am seeing is that the moon reveals someone already has a crush on you, someone wants to be with you. And then the Justice card is that this crush is a great idea. Now, the Page of Coins reverse card could be an indication that you aren't currently connected to them, but they are someone from your past, someone from your work or your hobby, whatever it is that you are super focused on, whether it is your career, your hobbies, school, something you're really devoted to. For some people, it could be church, anything that requires a lot of effort. And your soulmate is someone that you knew through whatever effort journey you've been on, but you're not currently in contact with them. They were in your past, but they're not in your present. And they keep thinking about you. They have really positive feelings. And if you were somehow able to reconnect with them, you would find that you would be able to no longer be single because you would be able to date them again. So let's figure out more about how to meet this person, how to reconnect with them. We are going to pull one card from the Enchanted Map Oracle to figure out your journey back to them. What is your journey back to your soulmate? So you've met them before. You know them somehow. Follow the leader. So someone who is very influential in your life right now, someone who is in a leadership position over you or influences you, even if you don't know them personally, or someone from your past who had this quality, is connected to your soulmate. They could be your soulmate, so it could be someone that it wouldn't be appropriate for you to date at the time, but when you no longer have that mentor-student relationship, it's appropriate, or you know each other through that connection. So let's figure out more about that. How to get back to them. What does pile one need to know to reconnect with their soulmate? We have the King of Wands. For some of you, this is a person that you were in a relationship with in the past or a situationship, someone with a lot of passion, or it could even be a friend of someone that you used to be in a relationship with. We have the Hermit. They are currently in a relationship, so they are available right now for you to date. And then we have the Knight of Wands, a message. This is someone who has sent you a sign that they like you. So, but you either didn't pay attention to it, or maybe you were dating someone else at the time, but this person has expressed interest in you in the past. So I really want you to consider, for everyone that you would be romantically interested in the past, who seems to have smiled at you a lot or wanted to spend time with you away from your friends, all those sort of things, a coworker who you really seem to vibe with. This person has flirted with you, and you may not have realized they were flirting with you at the time, but they really wanted you to see that they liked you and they wanted to pursue that. So pay attention to that. And again, the follow the leader could be an indication that there was some sort of relationship imbalance at the time. It may have been immoral to pursue it if they were in a leadership position, or you were in a mentorship position, or they were connected to you, like you had the same boss or the same teacher. You're going to know who this is, but you may need to think about it for a few minutes, but you've known them before. Now, there is a possibility that this isn't someone that you know really well. They could have had a crush on you, talked to you a few times, so you may need to go back to some photos you took in the past or really meditate on classes or jobs you've had, but this person, you've talked to them, they've expressed interest, and for whatever reason, you didn't pursue that at the time, but they are your soulmate. So let's end with one card from the Fendi Siècle Kipper for anything else you need to know about this relationship so you can end your singleness. What do you need to know about this relationship? What is important for you? We have privileged lady. So there is some sort of energy here where someone has all the potential and they're kind of abusing it, or they're not taking advantage of it. So let's figure out the context to this privileged lady card, if it could represent you or another person, or maybe someone who could steal your soulmate away from you, all those sort of things. So let's pull 3 cards. What is the context of this privileged lady card? What does pile 1 need to know? What is important here? We have the World card, a very materialistic person, could be a little bit shallow. We have the Two of Wands card, someone who breaks a relationship. And then we have the Wheel of Fate card, a bad turn of fate. So your soulmate really likes you, they really want to be with you, but it does appear as if someone is starting to show them attention. So if you don't reach out to them soon, your chance on this particular soulmate is going to fade. What does that mean if that unfortunately happens? It doesn't mean you'll be single for the rest of your life, but it's going to take a little bit of time for the universe to find another karmic soul match for you to be with. But I do think you should pursue this person. I'm not sensing any sort of red flags in their energy. It's actually quite wonderful. And what seems to be blocking you is that you are so focused on your dreams and ambitions that you do think like you have to wait in order to fall in love. But instead, I want you to consider that person who showed you interest in the past. They still like you. They still want to be with you. If you reach out to them again, say, hey, I want to go do this thing one day, and or you start chatting on your phone or on your computer or whatever it is that you do, reconnect and then try to meet and then try to see where that goes, because I think you'll be surprised. There is some chemistry there. Now, I don't think that this person is going to cheat on you or anything like that. It's just, if you miss this opportunity, you are going to be single probably for another year or 2. And if you pursue this person now, if you reach out to them, you are probably going to be in a relationship within the next 3 months, which would be pretty exciting. You'd be able to grow your relationship as you're pursuing your dreams, and I really want that for you, pile 1. Overall, you have a lovely reading today. It doesn't seem as if there's anything wrong with you. It really just seems as if you are at the point in your life where you deserve more and you can have more. Someone does like you already. So go ahead and reach out to them. I am sending you many blessings. I also have private readings available. There is a link in the description, but otherwise, pile 1, I am so excited for you to have this romantic relationship. I think you really deserve love. Hello, pile 2, my penguin pile, and welcome to your tarot reading. Let's go ahead and get started by pulling one card from the Lover's Oracle to figure out what your soulmate's higher self wants you to know, who when you're no longer going to be single, you're going to be with. That way we can figure out how to close the distance. So, Pile 2 soulmate, what message do you have from your higher self? What would you like Pile 2 to know? We have the message, give thanks for the blessings of love soon to come your way. Know that you deserve to be and have all that your heart truly desires. So I really got this feeling of friends, family, community. I think one of the reasons why you are still single is that you have some hurt, you have some pain. Perhaps you've had some trauma or unfortunate events in your life. And so some of your other relationships have been challenging, maybe romantic relationships, but it could also be family, friendship, coworkers. And because of that pain, you are very reluctant to accept social outreach from other people. So when somebody does show romantic interest in you, you're afraid to reciprocate. You're afraid to show that you've seen their flirtations. And your soulmate's higher self wants you to realize that you do deserve love and other love is coming your way other than romantic love. And then that's going to make you feel very secure, very safe, and very ready to fall in love. So let's pull some more tarot cards to see what you need to know about your social life coming soon. What do you need to know about your social life? How is it relevant to your later romance? What does Pile 2 need to know? We have the Five of Swords. This refers to some sort of loss that you had in your past, but now you are going to have something positive come forward. We have the Ten of Swords, an end to something. And then the Five of Pentacles refers to really wonderful cards to pull for your situation. This is about you coming out from the cold. So you have been experiencing a lot of social pain, and you may be wondering if your current situation is as good as it's going to get, but that is not true. Things are going to get so much better. You're either going to have repaired relationships or you're going to meet new people, and that is going to make you feel loved and cherished. So whatever you think is negative, whether it is something small or something big, it has affected you. It has affected your confidence to feel loved. That's going to end. You are going to get the relationships that you need socially to feel truly cherished in this world. And I think part of the reason why you have remained single in this season of your life is that you don't want to just rely on your soulmate for every social need. You realize that you need more from your social life than just one other person, and that's what's going to happen. Before you fall in love, you are going to get more positive social relationships. So let's see what your angels and ancestors have to say about this situation. Pile 2's angels and ancestors, what would you like them to know? What is important here? We have the Shaman card, trust in higher forces. So it appears as if the universe is going to send some sort of intermediary. That is what a shaman does. And this intermediary is probably going to introduce you to your soulmate through this social relationship. They're going to connect you. And so, with friendship or family or a really good coworker relationship, you are finally going to meet your soulmate. You're going to be connected and you're going to share that positive relationship between you. It's just going to be this wonderful social triangle of goodness. So let's get some more information here. Universe, what would you like to expand upon here? Angels and ancestors, what would you like pile 2 to know? How is this expanding? The first card is the Empress reversed. The second card is the Emperor. And the third card is the Seven of Wands reversed. So the Empress reversed makes me think of you because I always read the female cards as who I'm reading for in the pick a card. The Emperor reversed refers to your soulmate. And then the Seven of Wands reversed shows that you are both dealing with something difficult. And because of that social difficulty, you both really need that social connection. So you are really going to lean on this social connection in a way that you don't quite understand yet because you've been in pain before. But I think that this person or people who are going to connect you sees that both of you have gone through something difficult and they know that you're going to be able to bond on a deep level, really understand each other, and that's going to be why you're connected. They know that your soulmate understands what you've been through and they're not going to push you too far. They're not going to have unfair expectations. They're going to meet you where you are at socially and romantically, and that's part of what this social connection does is they see you for who you really are. They see your soulmate for who they really are, and they know that you are perfect for each other. They are your Cupid. So let's see from the wisdom of the oracle, what's some wisdom you need to understand in order to no longer be single? What do you need to know? What is your wisdom here? We have the here and now. So when you have been single or you've been single for a while, it can feel as if you're not going to be in a relationship for a long time, and that is not the case. It appears as if you are going to enter a relationship with your soulmate very soon, almost certainly within the next 3 months. And I know you're probably thinking, okay, that sounds great, but if I need to make social relationships first, how is that possibly going to occur? You're probably thinking, how are you going to build a strong enough social bond in order for this person to connect you? And it is true that having really strong friendships can take about 100 or so hours, but just because you may not have a super deep relationship with this friend, family member, or coworker yet, they do know you. Like they're spending time with you over the next few weeks, the next few months, and they see you on a deep level. And because of that, and because they almost certainly already know your soulmate, they're going to want to connect you. And that's a really, really positive thing. They're going to want to connect you as soon as possible. They see you for who you are, and they're not waiting 2 to 6 years before they try to play Cupid. They're going to try to hook you up as soon as possible because they just want you to be happy, and they want you to be happy as soon as possible. So let's find out more information about how they're playing Cupid. Let's pull some cards. How is your social connection going to play Cupid? What are they going to do? We have the Three of Pentacles reversed. We have the Moon, a secret. And then we have the Six of Pentacles. So the Six of Pentacles reversed is about spending money. You spending money, most likely. It could refer to them, but money is going to be spent. The Moon is a secret revealed, probably that either you like your soulmate or your soulmate has a crush on you, or they know, if you don't know each other already, that you are each other's perfect type. But the Three of Pentacles reversed shows that this is going to happen outside of work. So I do think your Cupid is at your work or at a school or hobby function, something related to career, money, or hobbies. And they are going to get you outside of that situation. They're going to arrange for some sort of meeting, so where you can just hang out, relax, feel at ease, and it is going to be a traditional date. It could be a blind date, that's a possibility. It's pretty rare in this day and age, but in some cultures, that's normal. Or maybe they get a whole bunch of people together because of the Three of Pentacles card, which could mean more than two people. And in that social atmosphere where maybe you're spending money to go bowling or go get a couple of drinks with a whole bunch of people from work, you are able to meet your soulmate, you're able to break the ice, and you're able to relax in each other's company. So it's going to cost a little bit of money. What I would recommend is making sure you have at least $25 to $50 over the next 3 months, so that way if someone invites you somewhere, you can just say yes, right? You won't be too worried about not being able to afford it. You won't have to take out like a small little loan or use your credit card. You can just say, yes, let's go, I'm ready. So have that $25 to $50 ready. If you are part of a very expensive lifestyle, maybe a little bit more, but definitely have some money set aside for a night out because that's how you're going to meet them. So let's pull a card from the Enchanted Map Oracle about a little bit more about your first meeting with this soulmate, or the first time that you're really getting to know each other. What is going to happen there? What is going to happen with your soulmate? We have spark. So you are going to know right away that you like your soulmate. Your soulmate is going to know right away that they like you. It's going to be pretty obvious. You're probably going to pair off together if you're in a social situation. You're going to be in the corner or go to another room, and you're just going to have this really wonderful one-on-one time together, and you're just going to know right away that there's chemistry, which is super great. Sometimes it takes a while before you really know, but in this case, you're going to know right away. Even if you already know each other, this new social outing is going to put it in a different context, and you're really going to be able to explore your feelings in a way that's pretty powerful. So let's find out more about that spark. What is this spark? What does pile 2 need to know about this spark? We have the Nine of Cups, a wish being fulfilled. The Queen of Wands reverse, it could refer to someone trying to really move in. And then we have the Page of Wands. So I think at this point, you're probably thinking, oh, if I want to be with someone, I want to lock them down. I want to make sure that we know all each other's deepest secrets, that we know that we're both really committed, all those sort of things. In this first meeting, it is okay to just vibe and just really enjoy each other's company. It can be tempting to have the trauma dumping, and you are definitely going to get into the details of both your guys' lives eventually, but in that first meeting, and probably in the first few meetings, it is okay to be a little bit shallow or a little bit surface level. Small talk isn't a bad thing. It is a way to check that you like each other, right? That there's no red flags. And so in this case, it is okay just to have fun, to talk about silly things, to not be so serious. I really encourage that. And the Queen of Wands card here could be a sign that someone else is interested in your soulmate, and so you're a little bit worried that they're not going to be as interested in you, but don't be too concerned. Both you and your soulmate are trying to figure things out, and part of the reason why your Cupid is intervening, why your social connection is intervening, is because they know that both of you are a match, and whoever else is in your soulmate's environment, they're not going to end up with them. They're going to end up with you. There is just such a good chemistry there, and you really should enjoy, that first meeting where you're like, oh, how much does this person like me? You don't need to go from 0 to 100. I think you're really going to enjoy going at a slow pace and just getting to know each other. What's their favorite color? What's their favorite song? You don't have to get super deep right away because there's so much to learn from both you and your soulmate that you're just going to have a lot of fun together in the first few meetings and the first few dates. So the last card today is from the Fendi Siècle Kipper deck. Let's see what you need to know about this relationship. What do you need to know? We have the courthouse. So could this be marriage? Could it be something else? We're going to find out. What is this courthouse about? What do you need to know? We have the Knight of Swords reversed, the Ace of Swords, and the Two of Wands. So I was a little afraid when I saw courthouse that maybe this person is currently getting divorced or being separated, or maybe this is a good relationship but it won't last. No, that's not the case. What we are seeing here with the Knight of Swords is that your soulmate is running from some sort of decision they made in the past. They feel like they're a failure and they're starting something over. They have goals, they have dreams. And then the Two of Wands is about you together. Your soulmate doesn't even realize their potential in life, and when you start talking to each other, you are going to hype each other up. Your soulmate's going to realize that whatever they think they're running from, they're not running from that. They have actually been running towards you this entire time. You both were meant to be together. You are going to understand each other on a deep level, and when you get together, you're going to find that both of your lives expand and you're going to be able to pursue things that you're really passionate about. They are going to be your other half. They're going to inspire you. You're going to inspire them. They are your hype person. They're just totally ready to see life to the end with you. And I just love seeing that. So overall, pile two, what am I seeing? Why are you still single? The reason why you're still single is that you have had some social pain in your past, but I also think that you and your soulmate have been trying to find each other for quite some time, and only now, through your Cupid's intervention, through this shared social connection you have, you are finally able to get together. And when you do get together, you are going to be so thrilled. You're going to feel as if you really understand each other, and your dreams are going to come true. Their dreams are going to come true. Just super, super encouraging. So pile two, I am so glad to see that for you. I also have private readings available if you want to know more about this or any other topic. The link to that is in the description, but otherwise, pile two, I am so ready for you to no longer be single and be with the person that you are meant to be with. I can't wait to see you again. Hello, pile three, my snake pile, and welcome to your tarot reading. Let's go ahead and dive in about why you're still single. The first thing we're going to do is pull one card from the Lover's Oracle to figure out what your next soulmate's higher self, their soul, says you need to do in order to close the distance between you. So, Fire 3's soulmate, what would you like them to know? What message do you have? Ooh, we have romance. Cupid's arrow strikes. So it appears as if something is about to bring you together. So let's figure out what that could be. We're going to pull 3 cards from the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot to see how is Cupid going to do this. Ooh. How is Cupid going to bring you together? What do you need to know? I think he's going to blow you away because that snake image flew right off the table. But let's get the cards. We have the Star reversed. We have the Ace of Cups. And then we have the Page of Cups. So some really good news here. Ace of Cups is a new relationship, an emotional new beginning. Page of Cups is a happy surprise. But the Star reversed is about being out of alignment. So it seems as if you are currently out of alignment with love. And what Cupid's going to do is figure out a way to get you in your current circumstances into new circumstances so you can stop being single and then be in a relationship. So let's figure out what your angels and ancestors have to say about your current misalignment. Let's figure out what is the cause of that. Angels and ancestors of pile 3, what is the cause of this misalignment? What is the origin of this problem? We have great teacher, learn from spiritual experiences. So something about spirituality there. Let's get some details. What are the details about this spiritual experience? Why is pile 3 out of alignment with love? We have the 5 of Cups, the 7 of Wands, and the Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups represents you. The 7 of Wands is about not being in a good position, and the 5 of Cups is accepting something difficult. So, and you're still struggling with it right now. I think your spiritual journey, because you are almost certainly on one if you are doing a tarot reading, is causing you to be too focused on your spiritual growth, on things of the mind and the spirit instead of the body. Because a relationship is also about the meeting between 2 bodies. And so even though you have a spiritual connection between you and your soulmate right now, that's how you're connected to each other, you're not physically connected to each other right now, and you're not focused too much on the here and now. Now, if you like spirituality, that doesn't mean you have to become an atheist or you have to stop being spiritual, but I really want you to practice mindfulness and things that put you in the present moment. So 5 to 10 minutes of meditation each day, specifically meditation where you are doing body scans or being very aware of your physical body would be really good. Another option, if you don't like traditional meditation, is to do something physical, something that requires physical use of your body. It could be a walk, it could be coloring books, but you have to be 100% focused on that task. So if you go on a walk, I don't want you to be listening to music. I want you to be paying attention to the nature around you. If you are coloring or washing the dishes, you need to be paying attention to that, not listening to music or a podcast. That's really, really important. But let's see what sort of wisdom from the Oracle you need to know about ending this singleness and getting with your soulmate. How is Cupid going to strike? How is Cupid striking in your life? What is Cupid going to strike you with? We have regeneration. So something about your life isn't working. And in order for Cupid to put you in the arrow of his love and make you find your soulmate, it's going to require that either something in your life breaks down or something that is already broken down and isn't working for you is restored in a new form. So you should expect something about your life to dramatically change. Let's see what that change is going to be. How is it going to regenerate? How is your life regenerating? What do you need to know? We have the Hermit reversed, the Eight of Cups reversed, and the Queen of Wands. So there is a very strong possibility because of the regeneration card and the Eight of Cups, which is about an emotional return, that for many people in this pile, you are going to be returning to an ex or returning to someone that you had a crush on. Some of you may not have had feelings for this person, but they had feelings for you. And it is also possible that they may not be someone you know, but they represent a type you used to have or something about your past. But something is regenerating in your life to be a better form than you could have ever imagined it to be 5-10 years ago. So for those of you who are getting back with an ex, this is a sign that some of the problems you faced aren't going to be there anymore. Things are going to be better. For those of you meeting someone new, but they feel familiar, whatever is that familiar thing, you probably didn't like it in the past, but now you're going to like it. And the Queen of Wands tells me that you're going to be pretty willful. You're going to have a lot of passion. And the Hermit reversed is you coming out of your shell. So this is really about a personality and a perspective shift after your life changes. So you're going to be looking at life differently, and you're going to pursue opportunities that you wouldn't have considered before. So let's pull a card from the Enchanted Map Oracle to figure out how, once you have regenerated or you're starting to regenerate, you're going to get closer to your soulmate. What is on the road between you and your soulmate that will end your singleness? What is in your path? We have flying. So flying makes me think of feeling like you're on top of the world. This is about very positive emotions. I think predominantly what I am seeing in your regeneration and in this card is that you are more optimistic. You are more willing to try new things. You're more willing to take calculated risk and do things that you never did before. So if you wanted to go on a particular type of date, you're going to start doing that. If you've always wanted to create an online dating profile, you're going to do that. There's going to be something new and optimistic about your life, your romance life, your dating life. That is going to be what occurs. So let's get some more details. Spirit, what is this flying? One thing I'm thinking of, I live in West Virginia, and we have this thing once a year, I think it's in October, called Bridge Day, where people once a year get the opportunity to jump off the bridge. And a lot of people go, it's a lot of fun, something like that, something daring that isn't actually dangerous, but it can feel dangerous or feel like a risk. You go and do it, and that's going to somehow get you closer to your soulmate. So, more details, please, Spirit. We have the Hanged Man reverse, not taking a sacrifice. So you're taking a risk, but you're not risking your life. The Knight of Cups reversed, this could be a sign that there isn't a love confession. And then the Five of Pentacles reversed. Okay, so what happens to you isn't dangerous, but you're going to wish that you didn't do it. So imagine you decide to go to, let's pick a non-dangerous example. Let's say that you hate superhero movies, but you decide to go to a superhero movie with your friends from work, and you hate the movie. It was awful. It was terrible. But after the movie, you go out for drinks with your friends from work, and that is when you meet your soulmate. You talk about how terrible the movie was. You commiserate together. And during this meeting, there's not a sudden confession of feelings. So I think it's possible that your soulmate doesn't know that they like you, or they're not ready to confess their feelings. It's going to be a little bit of a slow build. For some of you, for a lot of you, this is someone that you may already know. This is someone that you are friends with or you're on good terms with. So it'd be really weird if suddenly one of you confessed romantic feelings for the other. No, you're going to want to be friends first. You're going to want to feel comfortable with each other first. You don't want to risk the friendship. And that's fine. You just want to have some fun first together. And that's perfectly fine. You're going to really like that. But let's pull one card from the Fendi Siècle Kipper deck to figure out anything else about this relationship that you need to know about. What do you need to know about this relationship and ending your singleness? What is important here? We have toil and labor. So starting this relationship is going to require a little bit of work. If this is an ex, you're going to be really wary to get back together with them. You're going to think, well, it didn't work before. Why is it going to work this time? Or your ex might think that. Or if this is a person that you weren't in a relationship before, but they were a type of person that you would have liked to date in the past but didn't work out, and now you're thinking, how am I possibly going to like them now? It's going to require you a little bit of work to accept that this relationship is going to be what ends your singleness and what's going to be worth it. So let's figure out a little bit more about that toil and labor to getting this relationship to manifest. Spirit, more details, please. We have the Six of Wands reversed. Makes me think death to the ego. The Page of Swords, impulsiveness, and the Three and the Empress, which pregnancy, projects, those sort of things. I think on the surface, you are going to assume that your soulmate, when you meet them, there's going to be some chemistry there. You're probably going to be more forward and flirty than they are, but at the same time, I think whatever you know about each other from the past, or whatever you assume you know about each other because of types and personalities, you're going to think that the relationship can't work because of long-term goals. Maybe you think the other person doesn't want to get married, or your soulmate thinks that you aren't very serious, all those sort of things. And because of that, what you're doing by taking things slow is that you are establishing chemistry. You are establishing an emotional bond. And what you're going to find is that with the ego death here, someone is in the relationship, even before you get together, is going to realize that something they thought they wanted doesn't actually matter, because when you're with the right person, sometimes you make compromises or you change your plans, because with that person, the plan that you have together is so much better than the plan that you had before that person. And you're probably going to really throw your lot in with this person. So expect the timeline of your relationship to be a little bit like this. You meet them, you become friends with them. It feels like it takes a while, 6 to 12 months, before you really become a romantic couple. But once it happens, you are going to be very devoted to each other, partly because you already know each other, right? You already trust each other at this point. So you might have a shorter time frame of getting engaged and married, or moving in together, or having kids, and that's just because you trust each other. You're willing to speed things along once you start showing romantic attention to each other. But pile 3, the reason why you're single, I think it is because right now your best soulmate option is somebody you need to be friends with first. Someone that you need to have a very positive, friendly relationship with, and the universe wants you to establish that. And once you establish that, whether it is with an ex or someone who was your type in the past and now they're going to be your type in the future in a different way, you need to reestablish that connection. But once you do, it'll turn romantic, and then things are going to move along pretty quickly. So a little bit single for a few months more, but I think once you are in your relationship with this person, you're going to be quite satisfied. But pile 3, that is what I have for you today. I am sending you many blessings. If you would like to book a private reading with me, the link is in the description, as well as the link to all the decks I've used. But otherwise, pile 3, be sure to like and subscribe for more. I can't wait to see you again. Hello, pile 4, my Otter pile. Welcome to your tarot reading. Let's go ahead and get started by getting a message from your soulmate's higher self to figure out how to close the distance between you and them and end your singleness. So, pile 4's soulmate, what would you like them to know? What message do you have? What would help close the distance? And you may not know your soulmate yet, but they are out there. Your message is only time will tell. This is an indication that there is something occurring in your life or your soulmate's life that is serving as an obstacle to you getting together. And there is a potential that you could be blocked from each other. Now, that doesn't mean you won't fall in love ever again, but it does mean your opportunity to be with this soulmate could be time limited, and until the universe finds you another soulmate, you could be single a little bit longer. So let's get some details here to figure out what's causing this blockage. We're going to pull 3 cards from the Ethereal Visions Illuminated Tarot deck to see what is here with the time. What do you need to know? And it looks like your little otter flew away, so that's pretty interesting. So the first card is the 4 of Cups reversed. The second card is the Queen of Wands. And the third card is the King of Swords reversed. So usually in any tarot reading I do for someone over the internet that I haven't met in person, the Queen represents them and the King represents another person, especially a romantic interest. The 4 of Cups reversed indicates you're accepting something that you previously refused. Like, it's still an offer and you're thinking of accepting it, but you didn't want to accept it. The Queen of Wands is your passionate energy, and the King of Swords, here's the interesting part, your soulmate is the reason why there's an obstacle to you being together. It's not you, it's them. So let's figure out with your soulmates, angels, and ancestors, why this is the case. What is the holdup? Why aren't they closing the distance between you and them? Angels and ancestors of pile four's soulmate, what's the deal? What's the holdup? What's going on? What is happening here? Because obviously, you're not the only one making decisions. Your soulmate is also making decisions. And sometimes they make some frustrating ones. All right, the card here is Autumn, release the old and rest. So your soulmate knows that whoever they had a crush on in the past, it's not going to work out. They need to accept that they need to move on. They have hangups. And it's possible if you get a feeling your soulmate is someone you know and they've had a crush on you in the past, then what they think of you in the past isn't who you are today, but they are so hung up on the past and they need to let that just fall away. So, pile fours, soulmate, angels, and ancestors, what do we need to know about this falling away? What are some of the details here? What is the holdup? Sometimes in readings, when I'm not specifically reading about the other person, the Queen of Wands represents a potential cheater. So it could, or someone trying to sneak in on your relationship. So that could represent not just you, but the person that your soulmate is actually currently interested in. The Three of Swords reversed, the breakup card. We have the Hermit, the lonely card. And then we have the Three of Pentacles card, which could mean mind, body, spirit usually for me, but it's another 3 card, another interloper card. So your soulmate is currently in a relationship with someone, or they just broke up, but that is part of the reason why they are so hung up on the past. They haven't moved on. They were either a true romantic or they wanted to believe in love and then it just didn't work out. And the universe is saying, hey, that didn't work out, but pile four, they are out there and they are waiting for you and they were meant to be with you. But they are going through their glow up phase, their personal transformation phase. But that's not actually what they need. What they need is not to go to the gym, get good looking, because while it'd be great to date somebody who is really, really beautiful or handsome, what they really need to focus on when it comes to romantic relationships is to open their heart, to be willing to love someone new, to love you. And that is the holdup, not you, them. So I want to actually see if this person should be someone you go for, because a soulmate is someone you can grow with. But I also get this sense that who you're currently connected to, this soulmate, their tether to you is not very strong because they're very resistant. They're being very frustrating. I want to see if it is worthwhile to wait for this person or if you should actually be breaking that spiritual connection so you can find someone else that you would like better. So let's pull one card from the Wisdom of the Oracle to get some details here. Is this person worth it? Does pile four want to stay with this person? Because they're a fixer-upper, but is that too much work? Let's find out. We have Treasure Island. So a treasure island obviously refers to gold, but I've never read the story Treasure Island, but I think there's actually quite like a big, dangerous adventure in order to get to that point. And so this could be a sign that yes, it could be totally worth it if you wait long enough, if you go on the journey, but you have to be up for the journey. So let's pull some tarot cards on that. Is the journey worth it? From your perspective. Let's find out about this journey. we have the Five of Cups, being really upset over the circumstances. The Ten of Pentacles, a happy legacy. This is my favorite card. It is always the most positive card in any deck I can pull. And then we have Strength. So yes, it actually is worth it. I wouldn't recommend trying to break this spiritual connection. It's worth it to see it through. I do think that your soulmate's going to be in an emotionally sensitive place. It's going to frustrate you. They're going to be a little bit wild, a little bit erratic. But you can build something with them. You can have a stable, committed future with them. It's not like they would cheat on you or anything like that. But I do think you would have to be in control of the situation. You would need to lead the relationship, set the terms, all those sort of things, because you are stronger together. But I think your soulmate needs a bit more direction from you than you may have been used to in relationships in the past. But on the bright side, even if you think of yourself normally as submissive or you like to follow the leader, I think in this case it means you get to design the relationship that you want to have. You get to influence your soulmate to go on the type of dates that you would like to go on, to have the type of household you would like to have. They are actually someone who could be very influenced by you. So that's something that could be quite enticing from your perspective. So let's pull one card from the Enchanted Map Oracle to figure out how you can close that distance. What is the road to each other? What can you do? So we can focus less on just waiting. Waiting's kind of boring. Let's see what you can do to get closer to your soulmate. What can you do? We have Protecting Treasure. Ooh, that's interesting. Let's get the details on that. I don't want to read too far into that particular card yet. Let's pull some extra cards to find out. What is this Protecting Treasure? Why does pile 4 need to protect a treasure? Five of Pentacles. This can also be a marriage card. This could be working together during something difficult. It can also mean poverty, but again, we need context. The Ace of Cups, a new relationship. And the Knight of Pentacles, slow and steady. So what I am seeing is that your soulmate was betrayed by their love interest or their ex, or you wanted some, if it does refer to you, I don't think it refers to most people who pick this pile themselves in the past. It refers to them wanting something more serious, more stable, more lasting, but their partner didn't want it. And they know they need to start a new relationship because their ex just is not it. But they're walking away from that broken relationship and they're feeling as if they can never have what they want. And so what you need to do to reach out to them is to be an example of a strong, committed person. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to follow gender roles, but you do need to have some sort of visual signifier that you are a stable, committed person who really values something like marriage, staying together. So really ask yourself, or ask a friend that you trust, what can you do to look like somebody who is trustworthy in a relationship? And for example, people who love to dress sexy, that can be really great when you're initially dating, but sometimes you don't want to be super flashy. You just want to show a little bit of, like, say, cleavage, but not the whole thing, enough to be attractive, but not to show as if you want to be with everyone in the room, that sort of thing. And it's not just the way you dress, right? It could be the way you act. It could be when you go on a date with someone, You say, I really want to get to know you because I want to get married someday, and I just want to see over these next few dates if that would be really good for you. So when you go on a date with someone, showing visually in conversation that you're someone who is committed is going to help you be together with this person. So let's pull one final oracle card from the Fin de Siècle Kipper deck for anything else we need to know about this relationship. What do you need to know about getting together with your soulmate and ending your singleness? What do you need to know? We have courtship, so a really traditional relationship. And with the Knight of Pentacles, this relationship is probably going to last longer than you would like, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It could be that your soulmate wants to really enjoy all the wonderful things. Maybe they're the kind of person who doesn't want to sleep with you on the first date. They either only want to do a kiss or maybe a kiss by the third date. And that could be a little bit strange for you because in a lot of modern dating, people just go to bed with each other right away. Your soulmate is not like this. They want to extend things out for as long as possible, really enjoy the dating, really enjoy the engagement period. If you want to have kids and you are getting to the age where you're getting concerned you won't have enough time, you may need to push them a little bit along. But I do think that they would be the kind of person who wants to date, get engaged, get married before they have kids. So you're going to want to talk about the timeline with this person if you don't have that much time, because they're going to extend it for as long as possible just because they really enjoy spending time with you and they want to enjoy every possible phase of a relationship with you. What else do we need to know about this courtship? Where can you meet them? Where can you meet your soulmate? How do you get to the first date? The Wheel of Fortune reverse. Something unfortunate happening, probably in your soulmate's life. We have the Page of Wands reverse. They are a lot closer than you think. And then the Three of Cups in your social circle. So you know this person already, or you know of this person. There's some sort of social connection, and they could be at your work. They could be someone you knew as a kid, but you know them somehow. So what I want you to do after this reading is to write down a list of anyone from your past that you were attracted to, or you could ask your friends or coworkers if they know anyone who was interested in going out on a date, and see if you can get set up. And you may have a few duds at first, that's pretty normal, but what you are looking for to know that you have found your soulmate is that this person is a little bit reserved, a little bit traditional. They may not be politically conservative, but when it comes to relationships, they seem to be pretty traditional. And when you sense that energy, you're going to know that this is the person. And you're especially going to know this is the person if sometimes or at some point after a few dates you realize they came off from a difficult relationship or they're a little afraid of starting a relationship. Maybe your mutual acquaintance talks about how they came off of a bad relationship. That's a good sign. Normally it's not a good sign because you're thinking they can't get over somebody, but in this case, it is the universe telling you, hey, this is your soulmate. This is the person that has been connected to you spiritually, but for whatever reason, you guys were blocked from getting to each other. But overall, pile 4, I do think this soulmate is a winner. I do think this soulmate is someone you could be very happy with, someone who would be very devoted to you in a relationship, someone who wants all the traditionally romantic things, and you get to guide that relationship, which would be probably really good for you in the end. And I really like that for you. It seems to be a positive relationship. Just be aware the timeline's a little bit slow. They're going to want to flirt with you first. They're going to want to enjoy the whole dating sequence to a degree that seems unusual in this day and age, but otherwise, go for it. Don't break this connection. Try to see it through to be with them. If you would like to book a private reading with me, I do have openings. A link is in the description, as well as a link to all the tarot and oracle decks we used today. But otherwise, Pile 4, I am sending you my blessings. Be sure to like and subscribe for more future readings. I am sending you the best, and I hope that you enjoy being in a relationship very soon.